Factoring and solving quadratics when a is not equal to 1. So in this last video, we had problems where we only had x squared to begin with. We didn't have anything in front of the x squared. With these problems, we're going to have some coefficient right here for a in each problem. So we're going to need to use a little bit of a longer method. We're going to call this the star method. So start by drawing on somewhere on your paper, draw this star, and label these spots. So you're going to label the top as a times c. Remember that a is just this front coefficient, c is the back number. B goes on the bottom, that's your middle coefficient, and then ax and ax on either side. In the bottom left and right spots, we're going to put our factors here. So just like we found the factors that multiply to a number and add to a number, we're going to do the same thing here, but this is where we're going to put our factors now. Okay, for this first example, I've kind of labeled the star for you. So we have 2x squared plus 9x plus 10. So first of all, note that a is 2, b is 9, and c is 10. So starting in the top middle, I need to know what a times c is. So here I'm going to take 2 times 10, I get 20. In the bottom, I need to put b, so I'm going to put 9. And I'm going to put ax on the top left and right, so 2x and 2x. Now I need to find my factors. We are still figuring out what multiplies to a number and adds to a number. So I want to know what multiplies to 20 and what adds to 9. So just like our last video, I'm going to write out my factors of 20. 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 4 times 5. The only pair of these that will add to 9 would be 4 and 5. So my factors are 4 and 5. It doesn't matter if I put the 4 on the left or the right. I'll put 4 here and then 5 over here. Okay, the next step we need to do is simplifying these if possible. So let's start with the 2x over 5. Nothing divides both 2 and 5, so there's nothing to simplify over there. On the left side, though, I can divide both 2 and 4 by 2. So I'm going to divide the top by 2, I'm just going to get x left, and divide the bottom by 2, and I get 2. So my final factored form is x plus 2. I got that from right here. X and then a positive 2. And 2x plus 5. I got that from right over here. 2x and a positive 5. Now I need to set these equal to 0 and solve. Okay, so if I take my first factor, x plus 2, I set it equal to 0. In order to solve this, I would subtract the 2 on both sides, and I get x equals negative 2. For my other factor, this one's going to be a little bit trickier since there's something in front of the x. 2x plus 5 equals 0. I'm going to start by subtracting over my 5. Last, since there's something with the x left, I need to divide it away. I get x equals negative 5 over 2. So my two solutions are negative 2 and negative 5 halves. This looks like a long method, but trust me, there isn't much that's any other methods that are much shorter than this. Okay, here's our next one. Notice I don't have the star all labeled out. I'm hoping that you already have it written down on your paper and know what goes where. So, first of all, notice we haven't had this happen yet, where we have our c, or any of our terms, on the other side of the equal sign. So our first step we need to do is add the 4 over before we do anything else. So we always have to have our equations set equal to 0 first. Now we can fill in our star. So we're going to start with a times c in the top. That'd be 3 times 4, so we get 12. In the bottom, we're going to get negative 13. And in the top left and right, we're going to have 3x and 3x. Okay, we need to find what multiplies to 12 and adds to negative 13. So again, here come our factors of 12. 1 and 12. 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Okay, the ones that are going to add to 13 will be 1 and 12. But we need them to add to a negative 13, so we're going to put negatives on both. They still multiply to a positive 12. Okay, put them on the bottom left and right, and now we need to look to simplify. We can't simplify 3 over negative 1 because nothing divides both 3 and negative 1. We can simplify 3 over negative 12 though. If we divide both the top and bottom by 3, we'll get x over negative 4. So I divided both of these numbers by 3. Okay, so now my final factored form is going to be 3x minus 1, I got that from right here, and x minus 4. I got that from right here. So this was our factors. Now in order to solve, we just need to set each of those equal to 0 and solve for x. Start by adding your 1 over, and then dividing by 3. Add the 4 over, and we're done. Okay, pause your video, try this one on your own, and then restart the video to see how I did it. Okay, so setting up my star, I got negative 60 for A times C because I took 3 times negative 20. For B, I got negative 17, and I put my 3x on the top and left. The factors that I found that multiply to negative 60 and add to negative 17 are 3 and 20, but I needed to put a negative with the 20 in order for it to make negative 17. After I had my two sides filled in, I saw that the left side was completely simplified. I couldn't divide 3 and negative 20 by the same number. But on the right side, I was able to divide both of them by 3, so I got x over 1. I wrote my factors out to the left, 3x minus 20 and x plus 1, and then I set each of them equal to 0 and solved.